'cause we're ready. Let's not look behind. This is meant to be the performance of our lives. And if we stand as one, walk with thousands.
Walk with Thousands, the anthem for the Victor Walk. On May 23rd, just over a week from today, thousands of people will be arriving in the doorstop of Parliament Hill, Ottawa, to raise awareness for the sexual abuse of Canadian kids. If you can't make it to Ottawa, there are several dozen marches taking place simultaneously across the country. Earlier this year, the Canadian federal government promised a Victims' Bill of Rights that will ensure tougher sentences for those convicted of abusing children. Monsters like Graham James, Gordon Stuckless. But will it be enough? We still have a long way to go. Joining us now for more on this, the founder of the Victor Walk movement, former National Hockey League star and victor of sexual abuse, Theo Fleury. Theo, it's great to see you.
Good to see you, Charles.
All right, so just a few minutes from where we're sitting right here in Toronto. It's very odd for us to be in Toronto at the same time.
Yeah.
But this is kind of cool. Very, very close to here. The Victor Walk starts. Tell us about it.
Yes, we're starting from the Child Abuse Monument here in Toronto. It's a monument that was put up for survivors of childhood sexual experiences. And we thought there's no better place to start the walk than from there. And then we'll be walking up the Highway 7, the old Trans-Canada Highway up to Ottawa, and arrive on this front steps of Parliament at 2 p.m. on May 23rd.
All right, so this is like, I mean, I always think of Ottawa, you know, because I think in terms of plane travel, just like you National Hockey Leaguers, I think Ottawa, Toronto is just like an hour. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But when you're walking, it's over a week.
Yeah. You know, we'll do 40 kilometers a day, and we have a very well planned out route, and there'll be some events along the way when we stop in the different little towns along the way, and yeah, we're excited about it. I think it's an important initiative. You know, I think, you know, like I've said many times on your show, Charles, it's the biggest epidemic on the planet, and you know, I hope that we can provide people out there that haven't found their voices yet that opportunity to, you know, to, like the song says, you know, shout out loud and stick our necks out and make a lot of noise, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Let's make some noise here for people who want to join you. Anybody can join in on the walk at any time and just follow along?
Yep. Yeah, obviously, and then we have, I think, 25 communities across Canada that have signed up to do the walk simultaneously for when we arrive on the front steps of Parliament and on the 23rd. So, yeah, if you want to come and join us for a couple kilometers, we'd love to have you. I'd enjoy the company for sure, and yeah, it's gonna be great, a great 10 days, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Will you be met by that guy named Steve, who's got some clout in Ottawa?
Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, he don't like me too much, so.
Is this an old Calgary thing?
I don't know. He's a Flames fan. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, are you going to be meeting with a cabinet minister?
Yeah, we're going to have they're going to have a reception for us in the House of Commons after we finish on the steps at 2 p.m. So I'll get an opportunity to meet with some of the MPs and tell them a little bit about the Victor Walk and the Victor movement, and you know, what we'd like to see as far as changes in the law.
Okay, let's talk about the initiatives that are out there. The government says they are moving. I know that they never move fast enough for anybody who's an activist like yourself, but where are we now?
Well, to be honest with you, Charles, I haven't seen any movement at all. You know, they're just, you know, I've always said talk is cheap, and this is an initiative that needs action, because kids are still being abused every minute, every second of every hour of every day here in this country. And, you know, every time I talk to politicians, they always throw the bill C-10 at me, and I call it the smoke and mirrors bill, because nothing really has, you know, we haven't seen a sentence, especially when we're talking about child sexual abuse, where, you know, it's where it needs to be in that 6 to 15-year range.
All right. What about this Victims' Bill of Rights?
Well, you know, again, it's nice to talk about it. It's nice to put it on the table. But at the end of the day, I really want to see some action. We just had a case in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, where a female teacher, decided that she had feelings for a 15-year-old boy, had sexual intercourse with him over the period of 1 year, and she's serving no jail time. And last time I checked, it was against the law to have sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old boy.
I like the Sandusky rule that's now been established by the United States. You do stuff like this, we throw the key away. I really like Sandusky.
Yeah.
Not Sandusky.
Yeah.
I loathe him, but I love what happened there.
Yeah, and apparently there's a new law in the United States called Jessica's Law, where they're actually asking for 25 years sentences now. So, if that would get passed in the U.S., I would love to bring that, up to Canada.
From a purely moral perspective, and that's what this is, right and wrong, the idea that that touching a child costs you 5 times more in the United States than it does in Canada, to me, that tells every person who's thinking of becoming a predator in the United States, go north, young man. That's really, I know some Canadians don't like to hear that, but that's the truth.
And I've said it many times before, Charles, Canada is the Disneyland for pedophiles. There's just no doubt in my mind. I've seen it over and over and over again, and I think what we need is a minister of common sense in Ottawa. And you know what? I'll sign up for it, and I'll be the first one if they'll have me.
Well, if he's got a hard time meeting with you at the moment, you might have a hard time getting.
Well, maybe Justin Trudeau will help me out.
Well, here it is, Theo. I just for the people who are thinking about the walk and thinking seriously about this issue, what's the one thing that they can hope for that's within the realm of reality the next 2 years? Because I just want to give people. We talk about hope. People, it's hard to give people hope if there's no substance.
Right. Well. I think first, before anything else, and probably the reason why I didn't join Sheldon at the beginning when he first came out was I just wasn't in a position. Like, I wasn't strong enough. I had no tools in my toolbox at that time to be able to come forth. And, it took me another 10 or 12, 15 years to get the therapy that I needed, get the help that I needed, surround myself with good people that were willing to help me. And then in 2009, I came to Winnipeg. I filed a complaint with the Winnipeg Police Department. They did their investigation, brought it to trial, and here we are today. So I wouldn't suggest anything other than, therapy. Get
help. Get help. You can't wait for the government to help you. Get help.
You're not going to get any relief by going through the process before you've had any type of help.
Theo, just before we're out of here, obviously you're a hockey guy. Yes, this is your life's work now. But last night, the joint was jumping. I'm talking about Toronto.
Yeah.
Serious contender now for the second round.
Yeah, I know. I think they're going to win tonight. I think Chara is dead tired, and their plane broke down last night, so they had to stay in Toronto, and now they got to fly there and perform tonight. But it should be a hell of a game. Canada is so passionate about their teams. I know when the Flames made their run there, and I think it was 2005, they created the Red Mile. There was 30,000 people downtown Calgary every night, and now we have Maple Leaf Square, and that place will be jumping again tonight. So I hope that the Leafs win and get into the next round. All
right, so you're a Leaf supporter tonight.
Well, I'm a Leaf supporter tonight. I'm a Canadian hockey supporter tonight.
That's terrific. We'll all root for the Leafs tonight, but you have no doubt that if the Leafs get into the next round, most media in this country will be calling Toronto Canada's team, and that will tick off some of your neighbors in Calgary.
Yes, it will, for sure, because last time I checked, we have 6 Stanley Cups in the last 60 years, and Toronto has 0. So, but they're on their way. They made great strides this year. They upgraded their talent. They have a fantastic coach in Randy Carlyle. who was a Winnipeg Jet for a long time.
We love Kitty in Winnipeg.
He chased me around the ice many a night in the old Winnipeg arena. So
now the last thing on this, obviously we like the guys who go into the corners, the guys with the soft hands, guys like yourself. But let's face it, a hot hand goaltender really matters big time in the playoffs.
And isn't he from Manitoba?
I think he's, well, I'm not, it's not the only reason I'm plugging him, damn it. Thank you so much, Theo.
Thanks very much, Charles.
And we wish the Leafs and hot hand Manitoban Reimer great luck.